Hello, everybody. Hello to the section. Welcome to the section Policy and Policy Implementation. Our third speaker is Ewa Wapinska. I'm very happy to have this presentation here. Ewa Wapinska is going to talk about new types of Norwegian language courses for international academic staff. Ewa Wapinska is a university lecturer at the University of Oslo. She has been teaching Norwegian for 17 years, and from 2004 she started a new project, Norwegian for Polish construction workers. Very interesting stuff. So Ewa, over to you.
Thank you very much. Hello everyone. Today I would like to share with you the contents of my two courses that I designed last year, more or less, based also apparently, originated due to the needs of the participants, the international academic staff in our faculty, but also resulted also in the need of, or to follow the newly implemented policy for academic staff who teach their subjects in English or have been teaching for some time, some of them. Okay, so tailored Norwegian language courses for academic staff. Here what you see on this PowerPoint, it's a part of the employment contract where the requirements are stated. So the candidate is to demonstrate mastery of both English and one of the Scandinavian languages as working languages, in this case Norwegian, if the candidate is not fluent in any Scandinavian language, in this case also it means either Swedish or Danish, the person is expected to reach the proficiency of B2 of the CFR within 2 years, and also be able to actively participate in full in all functions that the position may involve, and including teaching in 3 years. And there's, of course, the support from the Faculty of Humanities and help to facilitate the appointee in reaching the said proficiency. This resolution was taken on the 12th of June this year, although we knew more or less that that was expected, has been expected for some years now. Okay, first of all, I would like to tell you that these courses are being piloted in a piloting version still, also because of the corona, but I had the opportunity to teach the first course last year, and the second only, I met the group only once before the lockdown. But it seems that I'll be able to continue with the second course before the end of this semester as well. So the first course, tailored Norwegian language course for international academic staff, which is suitable for participants between A2 to B1 level and who wish to improve their oral and written proficiency in Norwegian. It takes 7 weeks. It takes place twice a week, 3 hours, teaching hours at a time. Before I go to focus on characteristics and objectives of this or these courses in a way, because they are similar, is the word tailored. I think one can meet this word in a lot of courses. Everything is tailored nowadays. for the better and for the worse sometimes. But I would like to share with you what how I understand tailored and what I mean in these courses. So one thing is that there is a holistic approach, and it's very the courses are action-oriented, highly dynamic, and so on. But I would also say, in a way, ask the question, what do I do, or what do we do together during this course? So what I do as a guide for the courses is I would like to say that I focus on what the students say, how do they say things, what do they do, looking at all aspects of language learning, interaction, and other multimodal kind of characteristics, with no linear progress, language progress, for example. And where also the performative teacher and learner agency is focused, together with pedagogical noticing of the contextual appropriateness, linguistic aspects, pronunciation, and so on. It's even difficult to enumerate all those things, but as you see here, some other characteristic focus on oral and written activity to enhance participation in meetings, discussions in Norwegian, of course. We practice context-based short presentations on various topics from participants' own academic work, and this is based on their needs as well. We practice how to give feedback, discuss different topics, the relevant topics from their context and working context, in order to also get insight into contextual variations of language use, vocabulary, of course, target groups, which are going to be their students maybe in the future. I'll talk about it later on. And vocabulary, maybe more specific vocabulary, idiomatic expressions, and other things. And there is particular maybe focus on grammatical and linguistic structures, but they are sort of treated in the moment of teaching or just after within the course. So my guiding role is to notice that and revise, and also to treat it with a group later on. There is focus also on context-specific strategies and culturally adapted modes of communication in teaching. And the perspective is contrastive, and this is also to strengthen the participants' insight into both pedagogical appropriateness, but also the awareness-raising strategies. There is no textbook. The teaching materials are taken from the participants' current work-related context, simple, authentic, maybe articles are used as well, and the content, the materials are adapted to the needs of the group along the way. So in a way, we create the course content together. When it concerns requirements, 100% participation is required, and there are home assignments as well. The second course is called Tailored Norwegian Language Training, not language course, but training. It's more training towards, teaching in Norwegian for the participants teaching in their own subjects. The level is higher. It's suitable for those who have attained more or less the level of B1, B2. Number of participants more or less 15 as well, although I had seen that there would probably be more because some of the people who joined the first course signed up for the next one as well, so we'll see. Yes, and the focus, the difference is the level, of course, and the focus is on, yes, no, is on teaching, to start teaching and lecturing in Norwegian. The course is only once a week and for 7 weeks, once at a time, 3 hours. Here, the characteristics and the thing of which I told you about earlier, the holistic approach, very also action-oriented, based on the participants' needs, multimodal, and were also trying to take into consideration the situated aspects of the subjects that the participants teach is important, and gaining some sort of ownership, but in Norwegian, so socializing and getting the ownership in Norwegian language, no longer in English. Yes, here we practice much more the kind of scenarios, or there is practice on teaching scenarios from the participants' daily academic work, the subjects they teach. We give feedbacks to each other, or the participants from the group discuss the contents, ask questions, and so on, and plus me, of course, giving some guiding advice as well. Here also the difference is to be able to employ academic expertise, their academic expertise in the subject, and developing a suitable terminology, subject-specific terminology, and get used to interacting with their future students, but this is what the policy involves, and within 3 years, of course, and yes, or gradually. So we practice a lot on that. The participants choose their topics themselves, and they might be willing to present a topic or a lecture, and see how it works, and get some feedback from me and from the group as well. Yes, teaching materials, again, the same more or less, but on a higher level as in the previous course. Authentic teaching materials are very much used, and from the participants' work context, related context, institutes, current debates and articles from the newspapers, and so on. So the focus is really on more advanced vocabulary, context-specific terminology, and the requirements of the participation and home assignments are also the same as with the previous course. I would like to sort of pop into short how the support looks like, and the steps and requirements from the institutes. So permanent academic staff who do not speak Norwegian at the time of employment, they get financial support for the language courses prior to the courses I'm talking about just now. And that's for the courses up to B2 level test. There is an individual plan in collaboration with the employee and the follow-up along the way, individual mentoring, or tailor-made courses, my courses in the third year of employment. That might, yes, it might be individual mentoring, in some cases may be done by somebody else, not necessarily me, and this is all after passing B2 test. And to prepare for active use and teaching in Norwegian, which entails a minimum of one course taught in Norwegian, or equivalent work assignments if somebody does not teach. And deduction of up to 50 hours from the work obligation per semester during the first years of employment. The second sort of support, support for temporary academic staff is it consists of financial support only for one course. There might be maybe some more support as well, but this is this depends on the financial situation of the institute as well. And the rest is more or less the same: individual plan and mentoring, or this tailor-made courses and deduction of up to 50 hours from the work obligation. Some final observations. I conducted or I distributed some questionnaires to the first group, the participants from the first group, and I would like to share these with you. So in general, the feedback was, among others, they described the courses as very engaging and really tailored to their needs, academic needs, where they also appreciated thematic vocabulary handouts and very context-specific handouts, which I have to add here was made along the way. So the participants provided me with a lot of vocabulary, and I provided the feedback also, and maybe guided some of it, or yes, amended out of it as well. They liked the dynamics of the course and the focus on oral presentations and active participation. And very important opportunity to meet colleagues from other institutes. This is this socializing into the language, into the sort of the very situated environment, meetings, meeting with students, and also discussing such things and exchange of views and so on. And of course, support from the faculty and the institutes was very positive. Challenges, language proficiency among the participants. The participants, I didn't have the chance. I was not the one who assigned the participants into groups. That was done by the institute, or on the basis of maybe some questionnaires, and this, I think, this was a challenge for some people, although it worked very well and they helped each other, but I could see this needs improvement because there were too many different levels represented in this A2 to B1 course, yes, in particular. The presentations were time-consuming, and also the feedback, and a lot of home assignments, which was a challenge, although I must say I had very clever students, and they did their best to be prepared, which is quite important in those courses because they are so intensive as well. Other challenges like workload outside the course, due to different reasons, sometimes family situations, and the like. And time of instruction, this is difficult, although yes, some of the participants teach in the morning or others in the evening. It's very difficult to satisfy everyone, and the frequency, twice a week, is quite a lot. The attendance might be a challenge due to family situation, or maybe like conferences of the participants. So this is more like wishful thinking sometimes, that the participants attend 100%. So needs for improvement, course assignment, as I mentioned, and proficiency levels among the participants. Time spent on presentations and feedback should be shortened, and the communication between the faculty and what to expect from such a tailored course. Although I have to say that we did have meetings where I also presented the courses, but not everybody attended. That was a few months before we started. So for some it was maybe a little bit astonishing that the course looked like was so dynamic and maybe made on the spot. Okay, thank you very much. Any questions?
Thank you very much for your presentation. So, great.
You go. Okay, I have my question. Thank you very much. David Bosker, Humboldt University, Berlin. My question about the more advanced course, where they're actually getting the teaching language. How do they practice it? Do they teach each other, or do they present to each other?
The first course, you mean?
The advanced course, where
yes, they are based, both courses really, on a lot of presentations from the participants. So they are the sort of the focus is on each participant, where they have the option to present things they'd like to present, maybe to a more limited version than in the second course. But yes, so they choose academic articles, or they have some things that they would like to improve, and they do that. So the presentation is in the class, and the participants give feedback to each other first, and then I also make comments. And I also, of course, after each presentation, I give the feedback, what I think should be improved, and I take it into consideration for the next lessons as well, of course. And I try to also sometimes, together with the students, make a vocabulary list, let's say how to ask questions, how to give feedback, the terminology, the way you speak, culturally appropriated. This is very important for the context, and this contrastive, how do you do it in, yes, your home country, or with the settings where you were teaching before. So this is very, through this mode of exchanging views, it gives the participants the insight into how is it really being done, what's appropriate both culturally and in many other ways, linguistically, or the intonation, the phonetics is important, also the tone of your voice, how do you do it here and maybe not in other places.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, I was wondering, in your policy, it said that teachers had to learn within 2 years and be teaching within 3 years. I work at the University of Copenhagen, and we have a similar policy, but I don't really think it's enforced, because it seems to be a very optimistic timeline, as far as I can see. I'm just wondering if that actually is implemented strictly or not.
What I have to say, yes, I know you have the same kind of policy. It's sort of mutual, I guess, in Scandinavian countries. This has been discussed some time ago, but also lately there have been made some reports on, because of this policy was in a way implemented, and not implemented, but discussed earlier. And it's in the general language policy guidelines for the University of Oslo. There is a statement, among others, that academic employees at our university should be given the chance to learn Norwegian language. And the requirement of, in the employment contract, was more clearly stated and discussed the time aspect. Just, yes, in June, May, June, or yes, last semester. But, and this was not quite clear for the participants. It turned out after that was done by the faculty, not everybody understood the requirements before now, where it's very clear. But we also, the things, there were different views on how long, both from the teacher's point of view and the participants, how long time they needed to attain that. Because I can say this is not as easy as it looks to be, although 2-3 years might be long, but it takes time, because you attend maybe the courses, you learn the language, but you have, the participants have other workloads as well, and it's not, and it depends, of course, what language you speak, your linguistic background, and there were differences as well. Like for German participants, it was much easier to start teaching or to start using Norwegian, but less, more challenging for others. So yes, it was discussed, and this is a piloting course. It might be extended, but this is what the faculty decided to do. And most people, yes, thought that 3 years should be enough.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
We have 2 more questions from the chat. The first one is from Brno in Groningen.
Yes.
How many participants did enroll for a group, because it is difficult to find a time slot for a group?
Can you please repeat it, because I couldn't hear very well?
How many participants did enroll for a group, because it is difficult to find a time slot for the group?
The optimum is 15, but at the same time, the groups, the academic staff at our faculty is not that big, or some maybe already teach in Norwegian, or they Norwegian is not needed, but 15 more or less, although for the second course, as I said, I think it's also, I cannot see how it's going to be like for the next level, like the B1, B2. There'll be probably more, but at the same time, maybe easier in the sense of a better competency, higher competency in Norwegian, and it's based on training and participation, really focused on teaching. So 15, I would say, is the optimum. And did I answer your question? Sorry.
Yes, Berna is answering 15 is the maximum, and this number participated.
It was 12 who participated, some, it depended also, I would say 15, I think 15 signed up, but some had to, let's say, go to a conference or had some other workload, so they didn't participate on every meeting, every time we had the instruction. Sometimes I maybe tried to help them, and we had some individual meetings, but that was apart from the course, and I tried to support them somehow.
Thank you. And the last question from the chat is, how much time do the participants spend on homework or self-study?
We don't, in these courses, I teach in the international students in general, I mean regular, at a regular basis. This was the first course. They they stated from between 1 to 3, 4 hours, but it's what we do, like for international students, we say every teaching day or a course requires at least 3 hours of homework. I mean, but we don't state that, and due to like family situations, some of the participants had either courses, or they had to go to the kindergarten, get their children, and so on, or follow them. This is the practical sort of aspect is you just have to cope with it, and to but they were really happy to join the course, and I think it's needed, and we have to as organizers try to help the participants in dealing with that. Although I have to also add that before the courses started, I was in touch with the faculty, and they were also, they discussed the time with the participants. What's the time, the most suitable time should be taken into consideration. And the Institute also said, okay, no courses, no other assignments until 12 o'clock on the days of the courses. So from the morning, that's why also most, at that time, through the questionnaires, most future participants wanted to have the courses in the morning. But then, of course, not everyone maybe participated in these exchanges or agreed, and yes, that's challenging. I admit that for the participants, first of all.
Thank you, Eva, very much again. Thank you.